Texas has traditionally led the rest of the country in terms of oil production, but now because of the Eagle Ford Shale, because of the activity in the Permian Basin, we're literally going off the charts. We're producing more oil in Texas than we have in 25 years. And then looking ahead to 2022, we're estimating about $89 billion in economic output as a result of the Eagle Ford, supporting about 128,000 full-time jobs. Not surprisingly, the number of oil rigs versus gas rigs in the U.S. has shifted over the past few years. In 2008, there were about 1,450 gas rigs operating in the U.S. That number is now down to about 430 or so. Oil rigs have increased from 316 to 1,300, and again, it's simply a function of oil prices being relatively high and gas prices being relatively low. We've seen that exact situation mirrored in the Eagle Ford, where we tended to have a lot of gas wells early on, and that's shifting now to crude oil wells. Natural gas prices have sort of found a tighter range because of the large supplies of unconventional natural gas that's coming online. As a result, we think that these types of applications will come into even greater prominence. We expect to see much more electrical generation occurring with the use of natural gas. A lot of manufacturing facilities are already being located here that use natural gas as a feedstock. A lot of cities are converting their local fleets to natural gas, and if we can get some assembly line vehicles that run on natural gas and more public refueling stations, we think we'll see more passenger vehicles using natural gas as well. And then there's also the possibility for LNG export. The point I want to make is that we think that natural gas prices are going to find much more stability in the future. We think that the range it's likely to sell for is going to be between $4 to $7 per thousand cubic feet, probably even in a more tighter range, between $5 to $6 per thousand cubic feet. If that happens, as we think it will be much easier for industry to plan for the use of natural gas in the U.S. because the prices will be relatively stable. And this, we think, will occur regardless of whether or not we export. One of the reasons the Eagle Ford Shale has continued to be an active development is because it contains oil as well as natural gas. If we were dependent only on the natural gas, things would have slowed down here much the way they have in the Haynesville and the Barnett shales. But the price of oil, West Texas Intermediate's trading about $94, $95 a barrel, and as long as that's the case, we expect to see continued activity in the Eagle Ford Shale. If the price of oil drops significantly, then we could see a slowdown in the Eagle Ford as well. But these are some of the programs that the colleges and universities in South Texas are putting together to address the workforce issues needed by industry. And they range from, obviously UTSA has engineering programs, but a lot of the community colleges are working on vocational nursing programs, commercial driver's license programs, landman certificates, a whole host of issues across a wide range of skill sets. So it's been very encouraging to see these schools in South Texas reacting to the needs being presented by Eagle Ford. And then just finally, this relates back to small business in the sense that our goal in working with communities in South Texas is to make sure that the communities are sustainable. We've all seen what can happen when things in the energy industry slow down. A lot of us were around in the 80s and saw what happened to Houston, which at the time was about 90% dependent on the oil and gas industry. They've diversified their economy, and as a result are more resilient because of that. Now, right now, it's not feasible for communities in South Texas necessarily to be able to actively diversify. They've got their hands full with the oil and gas activity. But they should at least be thinking about what sorts of other industries they could try to attract or other types of businesses that they could generate employment with. So as such, we encourage the communities to be looking at opportunities for diversification, improved medical facilities, broadband networks, which will be key and still aren't fully in place in South Texas. Better education, the use of branding or identities and gateways. These are the types of things that will help lay the groundwork for economic diversification and enable communities to build beyond just the oil and gas industries that have become so dominant recently.